The iPad is a strange device. It looks simple, it feels familiar, and because of that, it's very easy to use it the same way every single day. But then you accidentally discover one small gesture, one hidden menu, or one setting you've never opened before. And suddenly the iPad starts to feel like a completely different machine. And that's exactly why I wanted to make this video. Because there are still so many iPad features that are easy to miss, but once you start using them, you wonder why you didn't know about them earlier. Let's start with one of the fastest iPad tricks, because this is something you can use almost every day. Take a screenshot, and when the small preview appears in the corner, don't tap it right away. Instead, press and hold that preview. Once it lifts up, keep holding it with one finger, then use your other hand to open another app. For example, you can open Messages, Notes, Files, Mail, or even ChatGPT. And then just drop the screenshot right there, and that's the whole point. You don't have to open the screenshot, save it, go to Photos, find it, share it, and then attach it somewhere. You just take the screenshot and move it exactly where you need it. This is especially useful if you're sending someone an example, saving something into a project folder, adding screenshots to notes, or quickly sharing something you see on the screen. And once you understand that, the next trick makes drag and drop even more useful. Open Photos, Files, or any place where you have multiple items. Start dragging one photo, image, file, or screenshot. Keep holding it with one finger. Now, while you're still holding that first item, use another finger to tap more items. You'll see a small number appear on the stack, showing how many items you're holding. After that, open the app or folder where you want to move them and just drop the whole stack there. So instead of moving files one by one, you can grab several items at the same time and move them together. This is great when you're collecting images for a project, saving multiple screenshots, organizing files, moving photos into a folder, or putting several documents into one place. Now, let's talk about windowed apps, because this is one of the features that makes the iPad feel much closer to a real computer. When an app is open full screen, you don't always have to look for buttons or menus to change the layout. Just grab the app from the top area and pull it down. When you do that, the app comes out of full screen and becomes a window. Now you can move it around, resize it, or place it next to another app. And if you want to go back to full screen, you can do the opposite. Grab the window and throw it upward toward the top of the screen. The iPad expands it back to full screen. So the gesture is very simple. Pull down to exit full screen. Throw up to make it full screen again. This is useful when you're switching between focused work and multitasking. For example, you can pull Safari out of full screen, open Notes next to it, copy something, move files around, and then throw Safari back up when you want it full screen again. Drag and drop doesn't work only with screenshots. It also works with text. For example, open Safari and select a piece of text. Now press and hold that selected text, start dragging it, and use your other hand to open Notes, Messages, Mail, or another app. Drop the text into the text field, and it appears there instantly. This is much faster than selecting, copying, switching apps, tapping, and pasting. If you research something, write notes, send links to someone, or collect information, this gesture saves a lot of time. Drag and drop also works for saving images and files. For example, if you're in Safari and you see an image you want to save, press and hold it, start dragging, open Files, go into the folder you want, and drop it there. The image is saved directly into that folder. This is useful because you don't have to save everything into Photos first and then move it later. You can put the file exactly where it belongs from the beginning. Now let's move to the Files app, because this is one of the easiest places to make the iPad feel more like a real computer. Open Files, go into any folder, and tap the View button. Instead of using large icons, switch to List View. Now tap the three dots and customize the columns. You can show things like file size, date modified, kind of file, and iCloud status. That iCloud status is especially useful because now you can immediately see which files are actually downloaded to your iPad and which ones are still only in iCloud. So if you have a lot of documents, images, PDFs, scripts, or project files, this layout makes everything easier to manage. You can sort by date, check what is local, and find the right file much faster. If all your folders look the same, the Files app can quickly become messy. So if you want to make an important folder easier to recognize, press and hold on it, then choose Customize Folder and Tags. Here you can change the icon inside the folder and use tags to give it a different color. This is useful when you have folders for different projects. For example, one folder for screenshots, one for thumbnails, one for documents, one for videos. Instead of reading every folder name, you can visually recognize the important ones much faster. And if there is a folder you open all the time, you don't need to search for it every time. In the Files app, press and hold the folder and add it to Favorites. After that, it appears in the sidebar, so you can open it in one tap. This is useful for folders like downloads, work, YouTube projects, PDFs, or anything you use every day. It's a small thing, but it makes the Files app feel much more organized. Still inside the Files app, there is one option that can save you in the worst moment. If you have a folder you always need, press and hold on it, then choose Keep Downloaded. After that, the iPad will keep that folder stored locally. So if you're traveling, using your iPad without Wi-Fi, or opening files somewhere with bad internet, you won't suddenly find out that the file is only in the cloud. This is especially useful for work documents, travel files, PDFs, video projects, scripts, school files, or anything you don't want to lose access to. Now let's take that one step further. If you want even faster access to a folder, press and hold on it, choose Add To, and add it to the dock. Now the folder appears right in your dock, and when you tap it, you can open the files inside without first opening the Files app. And if you press and hold that folder in the dock, you can change how it opens. For example, you can switch it from a fan style to a grid style, which usually looks cleaner on the iPad. This is great for folders you constantly use, like wallpapers, screenshots, documents, or project files. Now here's something many iPad users still miss. In supported apps, tap the app name at the top of the screen and it opens a menu bar, similar to what you see on the Mac. You may see options like File, Edit, View, Window, Help, and other app-specific controls. This is useful because some features are easier to find here than inside the normal iPad interface. And if you use a keyboard, this menu also helps you discover keyboard shortcuts. So when you're inside an app and you can't find a certain feature, check the menu bar first. And if your iPad supports windowed apps, you don't have to use every app full screen. Go to Settings, then Multitasking and Gestures, and make sure windowed apps are enabled. Now open an app and pull it out of full screen. You can resize the window, move it around, and open another app next to it. For example, you can keep Safari open for research, notes next to it for writing, and files nearby for documents. This makes the iPad much more useful when you're doing real work and need more than one app on screen. And when you have an app window open, look at the window controls at the top. Press and hold them, and you'll see options for arranging the app. You can make the app full screen, move it into a different layout, or arrange multiple apps together. This is helpful when your screen gets messy, because instead of manually resizing every window, you can quickly organize everything into a cleaner layout. Now let's move to Screenshots and Markup. Take a screenshot and open the Markup tools. If you want to point at something, you don't have to draw a messy arrow manually. Start drawing a line, move slightly up and back down, then hold at the end. The iPad can turn it into a clean arrow. This is very useful when you want to explain something on a screenshot, point to a button, or show someone exactly where to look. Your screenshots immediately look cleaner and more professional. And this also works with shapes. In Markup or Notes, draw a circle, square, triangle, star, or another shape and hold at the end. The iPad will turn it into a clean, perfect shape. You can use this with Apple Pencil or even with your finger. This is useful for marking screenshots, highlighting parts of a document, circling mistakes, or making quick visual notes. And here's the part many people don't know. If your shape doesn't look right the first time, don't erase it immediately. Just keep drawing over the same shape and then hold again. The iPad can still recognize what you were trying to make and clean it up. So if your circle starts messy, just correct it a little and hold. This is faster than deleting and redrawing the same shape again and again. When you erase in Markup, don't always use the regular pixel eraser. tap the eraser tool and switch to Object Eraser. Now, instead of slowly rubbing over every line, you can tap an entire object and remove it at once. For example, if you drew an arrow, a circle, or some handwriting, one tap can delete the whole thing. This is much faster and cleaner than erasing line by line. And if you have Apple Pencil Pro, squeeze the pencil while using Markup or supported apps. This brings up the tool palette, so instead of reaching across the screen to change tools, you can quickly switch between pen, marker, eraser, colors, and other options. This is useful when you're marking screenshots, writing notes, editing PDFs, or signing documents. It makes the pencil feel much more like a real tool, not just a stylus. Apple Pencil also has a double tap gesture. For example, you can double tap the pencil to switch between the current tool and the eraser. To customize this, open Settings, go to Apple Pencil, and choose what double tap should do. You can set it to switch tools, show the color palette, or do something else depending on your pencil model. This is useful because you don't have to stop writing just to tap buttons on the screen. On larger iPads, the on-screen keyboard can feel huge. To shrink it, just pinch in on the keyboard with 2 fingers. It turns into a small floating keyboard that you can move anywhere on the screen. This is useful when you only need to type a quick message or search something, but you don't want the keyboard blocking half of the app. And to bring the full keyboard back, just pinch out. The iPad keyboard also has small secondary characters on many keys. Instead of switching to the number and symbol keyboard, just swipe down on a key. For example, if you need a number or symbol, swipe down on that key and it appears immediately. This makes typing much faster, especially when you only need one symbol or one number. There's another keyboard trick that saves time. Press and hold the number key, then slide or tap the number or symbol you need. When you let go, the keyboard automatically returns to letters. So you don't have to switch to the number keyboard, type one symbol, and then switch back manually. This is useful when typing messages, notes, passwords, dates, or anything with occasional numbers and symbols. And when you're typing, you can also hold the spacebar. The keyboard turns into a trackpad, and you can move the cursor more precisely. This is much better than trying to tap exactly between 2 letters. And if you tap with another finger while using the trackpad, you can start selecting text. This is very useful for editing longer notes, messages, emails, or scripts on the iPad. You don't always need to say a full sentence to Siri. For a timer, you can simply say 10 minutes, and Siri will start a 10-minute timer. You can also say something like, set a timer to end at 3 p.m., and Siri will calculate the exact time for you. Siri can also handle quick conversions with very short commands. Instead of saying a full phrase, just say 5 pounds in kilograms, and Siri gives you the answer. This works for weight, distance, temperature, and other basic conversions. You can also convert units without Siri. If you see a measurement in text, just select it and check the pop-up menu. In many cases, iPadOS will show the converted value automatically, which is useful for recipes, specs, product pages, and technical information. So these are not just random tricks. The real point is that the iPad has a lot of features that only become useful when you know exactly how to use them. A long press here, a small menu there, a gesture you didn't know about, and suddenly simple tasks become much faster. Try a few of these in your normal iPad workflow, because even if you don't use all of them, a couple of these can make the iPad feel much more powerful every day. And if you already knew all of them, let me know in the comments, because I'm pretty sure at least one of these was easy to miss.